It's not a Rubik's Cube, it's an iPhone.
Got it.
Alright, so anyways, how's everyone doing tonight?
Woo!
So has anyone here ever worked like an entry-level job, like a big corporation, like a waiter or cashier, busboy, and that, like shit jobs. Let's be honest, shit jobs.
Yeah.
Nothing good about those jobs. Being a server sucks. Working a cashier, it fucking sucks. At the same time, I feel like every high schooler should have to work like those like corporate jobs for at least 2 months, just to instill some ambition in the youth. So that way you can like tell teenagers like, hey, yeah, dude, like get good grades and act right, or it's fucking IHOP for you for the rest of your life. You start fucking up now, it's gonna be a lot of meth teeth and pancakes in your future. So, I'm not above it though. Like I've worked a few jobs. Like I was a dishwasher, and then I worked at a hardware store as like a sales associate. I don't know what glorified term they gave us. Anyways, but vastly different experiences. Equally shitty, vastly different. So the hardware store was a big one, so we're gonna make a name for it. We're gonna call it Highs. So, all right, awesome. No one got that shit, I think. Anyways, so I should have known that shit wasn't a good fit right from the application. Like, mandatory drug test? What the fuck? Come on, let me live my own life, you know? It was bullshit, but I needed a fucking job, so I applied. And, you know, they called me in for an interview, which is great and all, but I fucking hate interviews. Bad. Like, it's always awkward. Basically, during a job interview, you are going to a complete stranger and trying to convince them that you actually want to work there. And I fuck every last one up. Like, they always open with, so, tell me something interesting about yourself. And I don't know about you guys, but I have never felt less interesting than when someone asks me to tell them something interesting about myself. So I fuck it up immediately. I'm like, I like pizza. I don't know, dude. I just need a fucking job, okay? And, you know, surprisingly after that cringy ass interview, he's like, well, I think you'd be a great addition to the team. So, you know, if you'll, I guess you'll go home, you'll fill out your background check and your personality survey, and then if you'll come with me over here, you will take a drug test. And I was like, ooh, you know, because I had a friend that pretty much told me, oh, dude, the drug tests are never real. They couldn't afford to drug test every applicant. Like, it's just to weed out like the crackheads and shit. And I was kind of banking on that. And just like a little bit of a backstory, I get nervous for things like job interviews, so I got a little stoned. And, you know, so immediately the guy's like, you know, oh, we're gonna go take this drug test over in the conference room. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not pissing in the conference room. Like, I'm not gonna work here if I have to like piss in front of everybody first. That's weird. He's like, what the fuck? No, dude, it's like a cotton swab. It's an oral test, takes like 5 minutes. Well, dude, I had smoked right before, like 15 minutes before. My mouth still tasted like weed. But you can't just like, no thanks, I'm good. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, let's fucking take this test. And yeah, so I went in there and I took the test and you know, I put it in the little bag and I handed it to the lady and I walked the fuck out of there. Didn't say shit to anybody, didn't shake any hands, just walked the fuck out. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much over. So then 3 days later I get a call and they're like, hey, you passed your drug test, but you didn't fill out your background check, your personality survey. And immediately I was just like, oh, bullshit, I fucking passed. Like, no. So I was like, oh, you know, oh, yeah, I'll get that done. So the first thing I did was call my friend and was like, oh, dude, you were totally right about the weed thing. Like, they do not give a shit. And then I started filling out, like, the background check and the personality survey, which the personality survey was fucking stupid. It was like 200 questions. And it's like, dude, this isn't fucking eHarmony. Like, you don't need to know shit about me. And, like, they just had the dumbest fucking questions. Like, one question was, like, more or less pretty much like, if a customer walks up to you and is super rude, what do you do? And one of the answers was actually like pretty much like punch them in the face and tell them to fuck off. And I was just like, why the fuck is that even on there? Like, no one is going to pick that option. I almost did, because I was like, fuck it, I passed the drug test. Let's see how I do on this personality survey. But, you know, I didn't. And so they tell me to, you know, come in for the orientation. And so, yeah, naturally, I just get high as balls for that. Because you fucking have to. Like, orientation is where you find out exactly how stupid they think you are. Like, they, like, turn on that stupid fucking video where everyone looks like they're in the Enzyte commercial, like happy as fuck to be at work, and nobody is ever happy to be at work. And it's fucking terrible. Then they like go over all the rules. They're just like dumb rules just to have rules, like button placement on our fucking vests, how many we could have, and all that shit. And it's dumb. Like when you set up rules like that, you're just basically like, and well, first of all, she kept saying you will get caught. Like if you break this rule, they will catch you. Like they can see from our cameras, they can see what you're doing on your phone. So I was naturally like, oh, nice, and just immediately like scrolled through my phone until I found the first picture of my dick and pointed it at the nearest camera. And I was just like, well, let's see if that's true. And I don't think it was, but I wasn't approached by it, so there's really, no way to know. And then like, yeah, like we will catch you. So I was just like, all right, fucking game on. Like glass bottles going in the trash compactor now because you said I couldn't. So it was fucking retarded. So after that, they take us on a tour of a place where all the aisles have fucking signs on them. And it's like, this is our lighting department. This is where we keep the lights. And you're like, no shit. That's fucking crazy. And so naturally it wasn't really for me, but eventually for some fucking reason they actually like let me interact with customers and shit. And basically anybody out there that thinks that like humanity will one day put aside their differences, band together, everyone will get along, and the world will be great, has never fucking worked customer service ever. Like I can't tell you how many old men would come in and be mad at me that the store I work for doesn't carry some part that's made in the USA. It's like, oh, that's definitely my fault. They for sure asked me, hey, should we carry this American part? And I was like, no, fuck them. So that was retarded. And there was like people that would like come in and ask you for products that don't exist. You would pull up the inventory, they wouldn't be there, and then they'd be like, well, I'm just gonna go find someone a little more competent that can actually help me. And you're just like, are you fucking serious? Like, I just pulled up the inventory in front of your face. How are you fucking missing this? And then it all makes, like, that's why they put the, like, smack the fucking customer and walk out question in the question survey. Like, oh, fuck, I get it. So, I was laid off from that job, which was kind of not surprising, but the dishwasher one was way fucking different. Like, I think I was like 19 when I started that job, and I learned immediately that like the food service industry knows how to fucking party. Like, I saw like one of the cooks just like taking shots out of a flask, and I was like, whoa, are you drinking? He was like, yeah, no shit, we work at Chili's. I was like, oh, all right, well, that's fair. So then I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna start doing that. But I didn't have a flask, I just had this like coffee cup. So I was like, well, this'll do. And then within like 2 weeks, yeah, like that same guy handed me a flask, was like, I'm tired of watching you take shots out of your coffee cup. So like, I just went ape shit, man. Like, I mean, I was a dishwasher, so no one really bothered me, because you don't talk to the dishwasher. They play with fucking food for a living, that's gross. So I pretty much just like did my own thing. I didn't have to go through any dumb interview with like rules. Like, the rules were pretty much like, hey dude, don't break our dishes and don't like stick your fucking hand in the fryer. And so that was pretty much it. So I was just shit-faced nonstop, just in there like dancing, washing dishes. And yeah, no one really fucked with me. And one time someone was like, hey, no headphones in the dish. Well, it was the manager, not some guy. It was like, hey, no headphones in the dish pit. I was like, why? He was like, because someone might need to ask you a question. I was like, about what? Like, I'm a fucking dishwasher. And like, no, fuck you. Like, I will wear headphones in a dish pit. I'm the only person back here with no felonies and no sketchy backstory. Like, I'm here to stay. You fucking need me. And yeah, they fucking left me alone. And everyone's kind of like asking, how are you such a prick and always got away with it? Especially with the like obnoxious drinking. And it's because I wasn't the only one doing it. The fucking manager was too. And basically, I would always find her shooters in the trash can. I just kind of like kept that shit to myself until she busted me just pounding that fucking flask. And I just kind of panicked. And I was just like, I won't tell you if you don't tell me. And she like laughed and walked off. And yeah, so I was just like, okay, shit, so I'm fucking fired. And so I finished the flask, and then I ended up finishing my shift, and I wasn't fired. And then I got home, and there was like 4 weeks of scheduling, and I was like exclusively on her shift. So I was just like, I fucking own you people. And that pretty much like started my like deep plunge into alcoholism. But other than that, it was a fucking great time. I really do recommend working those shit jobs. They're good for you eventually. You know, not initially, but anyways, that's my set. So thanks, guys.